Well, we're joined now by David Bailey. He is a professor at Aston Business School in Birmingham, England, and an expert on car manufacturing. Thanks so much for joining us. First of all, Volkswagen is looking at recalling 11 million cars now, starting in January. Logistically, how is that going to work?
Well, it's going to take them a considerable amount of time. They're hoping to start in January. If all things go to plan, they hope to refit these cars with new software and in some cases some physical changes to the car, which could be expensive, by the end of 2016. Now, at the moment, that's just a plan. They need to get through those 11 million cars in a year. It could take longer, and it's going to cost them an awful lot of money.
Is there any alternative to having to physically recall these vehicles?
No, it isn't. There's a company that has scored a spectacular own goal. It's been a disaster of their own making. They have lied to regulators and to consumers, and they now need to try and repair some of the damage that's been done, and they really do need to recall the cars, remove the software, in some cases install equipment in the engines or exhaust to fix the problem, and then try and slowly rebuild their brand after what's been a disaster for the company.
And Volkswagen seems to think, though, they will come right, that they will have recovered from this scandal in just a few years' time. What do you think? Will the public forget, or are we looking at serious long-term damage here for Volkswagen?
Well, there is going to be serious damage to the firm. Only yesterday the firm was saying that they will have to suspend every non-essential investment program. They're preparing for a very considerable financial hit that will run into tens of billions of euros. I think in the long term they can survive. This is the largest, or one of the largest, car companies in the world. It has a turnover every year of 200 billion euros, and it's supported by the German government. So long term, I think it can survive. But in the short to medium term, there will be a very considerable hit to the firm, and also a considerable loss of brand value and loss of customers who they will have to win back through incentives and lower prices.
That's very true. But what Volkswagen did, though obviously bad, let's be honest here, nobody died, which was the case with GM's ignition switch scandal, for example. So how does this scandal really rate in comparison, in your opinion?
I think in many ways it's actually even worse, because you could say that nobody died directly, but we know, for example, in the UK that there are tens of thousands of premature deaths from pollution associated with the types of pollution that comes from diesel cars. So there's a huge issue around public trust. And for any organisation which has spent many years building up its brand about values in terms of engineering excellence, quality and integrity, to be caught to be lying and cheating is a huge problem for the firm. So that they're going to face a big issue, I think, in trying to regain the trust of consumers, and also showing that they are cooperating with regulators, that they're being open, and that they are fundamentally going to change their company so that this doesn't happen again in the future.
Professor David Bailey, thanks so much for joining us.